Welcome back to Nicholas Comic Corner Classics Known Classic. This is episode number 1493 and Doubleshot number 1387. I have pretty much a physical trade plus some issues. Alright? First up it is Batman Arkham Reborn. Yes, everything in this trade is written by David Hayne. You're probably thinking, David Hayne, as in the writer who wrote Batman and Dark Knight Volume 2 for the first 8 issues. Yeah, this is what he did before that, like a year before he did that book. Come out in the year 2010, this stuff. This book collects the Batman Battle for the Cow Arkham Asylum one-shot, the Arkham Reborn miniseries, and Detective Comics 864 through under 65. It's pretty much a multi-part story that pretty much is a revival of Arkham Asylum after the events of Battle for the Cow, while laying the groundwork for a story arc in the pages of Batman. No, seriously. Now, the thing with the stuff related to these Batman issues, when you see Batman pop up in here, it's not Bruce Wayne. Nope. This Batman is Dick Grayson. Yes, during his time as Batman. Yep. The Ark Battle for the Cow one-shot basically kind of explains what Arkham Asylum was up to prior to being blown up by the new Black Mask at the start of Battle for the Cow. And that's simply what it is. Arkham Reborn is simply put Arkham Asylum pretty much being rebuilt with a mix of gothic and modern art style, as noted by Bruce Wayne, who is one of the board of directors for Arkham Asylum. And we have Dr. Jeremiah Arkham. Archimedes Arkham was his uncle. I believe he was the original guy who ran the facility when the facility first showed up back in, I think it was Batman. No, I don't think he showed. I don't think Arkham Asylum showed up there because I think it may have been anyways. Yeah, so they put up new like glass rooms. Basically, the way the interior of Arkham Asylum looks here is very similar to how Arkham Asylum looks in the Batman Arkham Asylum video game. Yeah, they must have had inspiration for this because they have like glass walls. They got Clayface in there. Aaron Cash is in here as well. Yeah, so Aaron Cash. I kind of forgot Aaron Cash was actually in pre-Flashpoint Batman because I only knew in a miniseries Arkham Asylum, which was actually loose inspiration for the video game. But Aaron Cash in here? That's interesting. Yeah, in case you're curious though, yes, Aaron Cash does appear post-Flashpoint in a couple issues for All-Star Western. No joke about that. Oh yeah, they keep intact in here his history with Killer Croc. In that Killer Croc bit his hand, so he took some of his skin as basically his wallet. There's also stuff in here related to this woman who I don't know if this is supposed to be Jane Doe. I don't think it is, because Jane Doe's gone. This is a woman without a face, who apparently a face was ripped up accidentally by this person's father. And now it's got like no face, but the face has been somewhere restored, but not basically the way it was. And, well, then pretty much at one point we have Victor Zsasz escaping, and then, well, he comes back after, well, he does get taken down, not by Batman, surprisingly, but by Jeremiah Arkham, who's gone nuts, and he's basically put in his own institute, and that's the book ends. Now, this book is actually pretty good. I like this. Believe it or not, Marvel would do the same thing like 10 years later with Ravencroft. Pretty much the same style of story, except with that one, there's actually underground Ravencroft. But that's what this book kind of reminded me of. Also, this cover is actually used. Not for Batman Arkham, not for Ravencroft. No. For Batman Arkham Manor. Yes, it's a very similar cover for that. My guess is that the artist for that book, he must have basically took inspiration from the Arkham Reborn miniseries. This took inspiration for the cover, and used that for the cover of Arkham Manor. This book is really good. I give this book roughly I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Yep. Now, despite the fact, now here's the thing. Dave Hayne is the writer, but the artist the whole time is Jeremy Hahn. Yeah, they also reappearance here by Mr. Freeze, who apparently starts breaking down. That was good. Now moving on to a different book. We have The first of five issues of Detective Comics. First, we have Batman Detective Comics issue 866. Now, this one is actually the only one of this bunch not done by David Hayne, because the rest is done by David Hayne. And oh boy, I can't wait to discuss these issues. This one here is Batman 866. This is written by Denny O'Neil. And you're thinking, Denny O'Neil? Like, at this point, he had not written comics in some time. Oh yeah, definitely. Let's see if I can pull up here. Now, the guy himself sadly passed away last year, and I never got a chance to meet him. But this was his first Batman comic, first issue Detective Comics he's worked on in quite some time. I mean, prior to this one, he had worked on A51. And if you're asking, what was the last official comic book he worked on before he passed away? Issue 1000 of this very series. Yep. And before that, it was A51. And before that, it was way back with issue 491. Yes. Now, of course, prior to his brief return to comics, he had pretty much, like, well, how should I put this? He basically took some time off. He retired for like a decade, and then he came back to do like a story for like the holiday special that came out in 2019, and of course do the Detective Comics 1000, and that was simply it. This is basically done. It's basically like, okay, so he's back, and we'll do an issue of Detective Comics. Yeah, this is called the Medallion. This is done, of course, Denny O'Neil is the writer. We have Dustin Negan, who does the artwork, and Derek Furto, who also does the artwork too. Yep. This is just a really cool story of Batman meeting up with some thugs. And we have sort of a flashback to Batman the Animated Series with the Joker. Yes, the Joker. And we have basically flashback to like classic Batman from the Silver Age. It's just a fun issue. I love this one. Yep. An absolutely fantastic issue. We'll also went back and forth between this and present day. Now, I believe this Batman is Dick Grayson's issue because he seems a bit thin, and, well, thing is, the woman begins to smile. Now, the issue itself, I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10 because it's just really good. I cannot say the same about 867. Why, you might ask? Well, because this issue here is the start of the Gotham Imposter storyline. Yes, that started from this very issue and wrapped up with 870. Gotham Imposters is simply put a bunch of random guys who dress up randomly as Batman and Robin to inadvertently cause a freaking crime wave. Yes, this story is bad. If you think Dark Knight was bad, this is just as bad as that. And yet, David Hayman shows right, Dark Knight, at least that was more tolerable over this. This was just awful. Like, the only thing good about this book is the artwork. Yes, this storyline has only got one thing good about it, it's the artwork. I like the artwork by Scott McDaniel. I know I may not be a fan, but his artwork is the only thing good about this story. We have a bunch of random people who dress up as Batman, Robin, and the Joker just to do whatever the heck they want. And we have the GCPD. Some of them basically acted completely out of character. Or one of them basically accuses Batman causes, even though technically he did it. Yes. And get this. The whole inspiration for this story comes from a video game. Also called Gotham Imposters. Yes, a video game. Yes. So, they turned a video game that came out later on in 2012, which this storyline came out in 2010, and they turned this into basically this particular video game. Yes, it is that bad. Oh my gosh, this thing is just so bad. Like, and I'm thinking, like, why the heck would DC even do this for? It's so freaking dumb. The fact you have this Batman imposter storyline. All it is simply a four-parter. Yeah. And the guy responsible for this, who's an imposter, his name's Winslow Heath, who was basically a tribute to Heath Ledger. Like, okay, fine. But this storyline, it just pure, just really, really bad. Like, so the guy caused just to cause some ruckus for reasons. It's not that good of a story, and you're probably thinking, why you want to talk about it? Because it's Detective Comics. I want to basically just get rid of this. Just don't want to talk more about 2010. But yeah, this storyline. The guy himself, Winslow Heath, as far as I know, after this storyline wraps up, he never appears ever again in the comics. No, he never does. He just appears just as four-parter, and that's it. Yes. Though this storyline basically also is the debut of the Joker's gang. Yes, seriously, the Joker's gang. As in the Jokers from Batman Beyond. So, they're in universe. For reasons. Yeah. It's a good thing right after this we had Dark Mirror. We had Black Mirror. Which is a lot better of a storyline than this piece of garbage. Oh my gosh, yes, it is so bad. Like, and we have appearances in here also by Oracle in the Question, the story, which begs the question, like, why would they appear in this awful story? It is just so bad, and it's probably a storyline. Unlike Arkham Reborn, which is really good, you can probably get a lot of credit for playing with that one. This one, you can easily bypass it if you want to. I'm going to give the story itself a... Let's see. The artwork, I'm going to give that a 9. The story, I'm going to give that a 4. Yes, a 4 out of 10. Yep. So yeah, that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my next review, which will be another Comic Corner. Let's go think of something, a lot better stuff than this. Also, thanks to covering this stuff, I pretty much cap off the year 2010 for Detective Comics. Yep, 2010 is all done. Yep, 2010 is all done, which is good. I'm be getting more trades in soon, discussing more Detective Comics this period of time. Yeah, which is going to be interesting to say the least. Yep, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.